I'm not gonna take you that seriously like this. I'm gonna take you very seriously. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is gonna be a good one. You guys know I'm obsessed with eyebrows, and Kat Von D just released a whole brow collection here. So we partnered together for this video to bring you my 3 go-to brow styles, and I wanted to show each one using all the new products step by step. The 3 brows I have are quick out the door brow, but you still wanna look good. Bushy brow, which is a little bit messier, but still tamed and full and fluffy. And then the bold, full glam brow, which is, girl, we're wearing fake eyelashes today, we're wearing wing liner. Every brow is a different mood, it's a different vibe, it's a different technique, and you use different products. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So this first brow style is the brow style I do when I need to be out the door. This is my quickest brow routine, and for that I'm gonna be using the Signature Brow Kat Von D pencil. And what's really awesome about this brow pencil is that it has the most fine point tip. It almost gives your brows a microbladed effect. It never goes dull because it goes up that skinny. It just gives you those perfect lines. So that's what I love about this. What I like to do first, kind of give myself a shape. So I know that this part of my brow needs to connect to this over here. I use the pencil as if I was microblading. So I'm just giving myself hair-like strokes first in all the sparse areas. And there's a spoolie on the other side, so you can just brush through, blend, and make sure that everything looks nice and neat. I always find it the easiest to fill in the sparse areas first and then really go in and define, because if you define right away, it's almost like you could overdo it and you don't need to. So you just want upward hair-like strokes. What's nice is that this pencil is buildable. Sometimes I'll use a pencil for the more sparse areas because I need it to be darker to match my brow hairs. Then I'll use a lighter one for the areas that I have brow hair. But for this one, it's buildable, so you can kind of just use the same pencil and just keep going over those areas and it'll match the rest of the brow. And I usually do this really fast. This is like, I'm running errands, I have a natural no makeup look. Sometimes when I go to the gym, I don't wear makeups to the gym, but I do put on a light brow because I just need to, okay? I need to have a brow even at the gym. All right, so this is it. This is the finished quick out the door brow. I only need this one product, so it's really, really nice. The color goes really nicely with my hair. Now you can totally see the difference and why I don't go to the gym without brows. Okay, look at this. Look at this. It's actually shocking sometimes when I see myself like this versus this. The huge difference this makes to my face is insane. This is always gonna be my reference brow for this video, so you will always see the before and after with each look and see how much it changes my face. So next we have the bushy brow. This is one of my favorite styles. However, it takes a little more time to complete because you have to be a little bit more precise, but I love the overall look of the bushy brow. It's a little more effortless, a little less defined altogether while still filling in your brows. The trick to my bushy brows is using a little bit of soap. I wet a spoolie and I just go into the soap a little bit, just kind of. And I know it sounds really strange, but something about a bar of soap just keeps my brow hairs perfectly in place, bushy, and almost adds a little bit of thickness to your brow hairs, which is really, really nice. And this is just an old Hollywood trick that they used to do back in the day, so it's been around for a while. As you can see, I'm just brushing the soap lightly through the brows and giving them a nice bushy effect. The bushier, the better. It's almost like a controlled, messy look, this brow. So this really gives us the base of where you want the hairs to be and where you need to fill in the hairs. For the bushy brow, I'm gonna be using the 24-hour Super Brow, and this is also long wear pomade, so it's not gonna come off until you're ready to take it off, okay? It's very, very waterproof, so you wanna go swimming, you're good. And of the 16 shades for this one, I'm gonna be using dark brown because I do want the hairs to be a little closer to my natural hair color. And to apply it, I'm gonna be using brush 70. And this is specifically made for the pomade. This product is very pigmented and it's really creamy. It's not dry at all, so a little goes a long way. I just take a tiny bit on my brush and make sure to tap the excess on the back of my hand like this, just so I'm not getting too much product at once. And then I'll go and dip back into whatever I put on the back of my hand if I need more. So this brow has a totally different look than the last brow. It's gonna have a little bit of more of a wild look. It's not gonna look really clean. It's almost like perfectly imperfect. So you almost want it to look like they're not too wild, but they're wild enough. All right, so I'm gonna start with my pinky anchored on my cheek, and we're gonna start making hair-like strokes in the same direction that your natural hair grows. And I'm doing this with the lightest hand possible. First, fill in all the sparse areas. That's always the best way to start. And then I'm gonna dip back into the back of my hand here. And just lightly feathering. It's all about the feathering. This is the starting point. It's nice. We have some spots filled in. For the most part, you get the idea of the shape of the brow. Now we're gonna go in and really perfect it. I'm gonna add a little bit more product to my brush, just a tiny bit. Like you literally need to just tap the brush into the pomade really, really softly. And again, we're gonna start with the hair-like strokes. Going in a little bit darker this time. And if you feel like for some reason you made a line too dark, it's totally fine. Just take your spoolie and just comb through it. We're gonna go in and darken the rest of the brow now, so it's all gonna blend in. I'm really just going in and blending it so it all looks seamless and like natural hairs. As I start going towards the arch, you can see I go more diagonal here and just following those hairs because they're your guides to show you what's gonna look the most like hair. Really, now it's just about dispersing the product and making sure that everything is even. So if I see I have some dark patches, I just wanna go in and really soften those up, blend them out. Look at that, oof. And this isn't gonna go anywhere. So once you have this brow on, like boom, okay? You're done. Don't worry about it coming off, it's gonna stay. When I did my brows in Dubai, people asked me, they were like when I took my brows off, because I took all my makeup off, they're like, wait, you don't have brows? And I was like, no. And they're like, but they look so like, they look like you have brows. And I'm like, I know, that's the point. Now I look at my brow and I'm like, damn, that's a good bushy brow, okay? It's not super perfect, that's not the point. If I see an area that's a little darker, like right here, it'll drive me nuts. So I just go in with the spoolie and like I said, just kind of run through it until it softens it up a little bit more. You still want to keep little gaps here and there so it does look a little more like hair opposed to having like a super perfect line at the bottom or the top of the brow. That's just what differentiates this brow from the rest. You know, there's not a perfect line at the top, there's not a perfect line at the bottom, but it still looks flawless, okay? All right, so this is our second brow. This is our bushy brow. It's all done. I love this brow. This is one of my favorite styles. So we have a nice full bushy brow over here, and then let me show you the before, which is just like a sparse bushy brow, maybe. Lastly is the full glam brow. So this is the brow that I would do when I'm going out and I have full makeup, a really, really substantial eye look, and I want my brow to be able to be balanced out with the rest of my face makeup. So this is not a brow I do with a no makeup look. This is a little more like, boom, we here, we're bold. So first I'm gonna start off using the Brow Struck Dimension powder. There are 7 shades of this powder. I use medium brown. This powder has like a 3D reflective pigment, so it almost has like the very, very, very slightest shimmer. It's meant to give your brows more dimension, so when it captures the light, it doesn't just look like one color. This is the brush we're gonna be using. It's made for the powder. It's brush 75. It almost looks like a little foot, huh? Like a little foot. When I wanna have that full brow look, I work in layers. So the first layer I like to do is powder. I'm just gonna go in and start filling in the brows and really making sure to focus not just on the brow hairs, but on the skin, because this is the base and I want my brows to just be on and pop in all night. I don't wanna have any sparse areas. They say it's more of a buildable to medium, but I'm like, nah, this is potent. which I like because it's quick. You don't have to keep building it. It already has the bristles, so you could just feather up and it like makes the brow hair strokes for you. Sometimes I like to do the brow strokes on the curve here, but it'll go over the line I want it to, so then I just kind of wipe off the excess so that way I still have the lines that I want. I love doing a full bold brow. Whatever's left over, I kind of do the line. I want a line here, okay? I'm going bold. So now the front is definitely done. I'm gonna focus more on the tail. All right, so this is just the base layer of the powder, right? So you are gonna be foolproof after this. You can just use powder if you want, but like I said, this is kind of like my over-the-top full glam brow. So after I do the powder, I go back in with the pencil that we used for the first brow. This is where I'm gonna go in and define, add more hair-like strokes on the outer corners, and just really bring it to where I'm trying to go. So with this brow, I like more of a clean, straight line on the lower part. So I'm working towards that here. And this is the kind of brow I like to clean up with concealer, so I need those nice clean lines. I still want to keep this front part fairly natural, always, never too boxy, even with the bold brow. Always keep the front a little lighter. Kelly Baker Brows just did my brows yesterday, and she is seriously changed my brow shape. I love it so much. I've been getting my brows done with her for a hot minute now. If you guys want to reference my first brow tutorial, I had nothing. All right, see that? We're starting to get cleaned up. We're looking bold, we're looking glam. So with all the brow styles that I've just done, they all come out looking different because they slightly have a different technique. But the one rule that stays the same is I always want to go in the direction of the hair. So lastly, just brush through it, make sure everything's nice and blended, and you can see this brow is a lot more clean cut, a little more bold. The lines around the bottom are more straight and the top are more straight. So this is the kind of brow where I always put a little concealer at the bottom of the brow to highlight it and make it pop. I'm just gonna take that on a flat concealer brush. This is a Sigma concealer brush, F70. We're gonna go ahead and clean up the bottom of that brow. And this is just gonna highlight our brow bone. It's gonna make our eye look more lifted. It's gonna make our brow stand out more. It's gonna make our eyeshadow stand out more. It's gonna make everything look more clean. And then you just wanna blend it down into what would be your eyeshadow base, right? So I don't have eyeshadow on my lid right now, so you can just kind of take it down. You can kind of just blend it all out with your finger. So this is the full glam bold brow, okay? Very clean, very bold, no sparse areas. We got the powder that really gave us that base that's gonna make sure that everything just never fades, and the pencil on top of it, which gave us those hair-like strokes that just fluffed it up, gave it a little more girth. And the concealer, which cleaned it up, made it more bold, made it stand out even more, and gave us that brow lift with the concealer. This is the after brow, and then we got the before brow. Does it ever get old? I mean, imagine here we have a cut crease, we got a wing. Oof, you know, that's the vibe of this brow than this one. I still love you, it's okay. Still love you, but I love you more. All right, so that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video. I personally think it's really cool to see the different brow styles. Let me know in the comments down below which brow style was your favorite, or if there's a brow style that I didn't do that you guys really like. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.